death is not the end of the story. Maybe it's because that's the stories we're usually told that we think so. But let's look to nature to learn other stories. Are these branches really dead? What about that rotting stump that you've seen? Is it dead? Who lives inside of that? And who is the stump becoming when you see those mushrooms sprouting? Look inside everything that seems to be alive and not. Even within death's embrace, we'll find new life. Trees growing back after a forest fire. That cocoon sealed within the dead pea pod of a vetch. Life returns. Hope returns. Let's learn some new stories from nature. Join us in this last day of International Nature Journaling Week as we celebrate renewal and regeneration.
Hi, this is Lily Ehrman. I'm a nature educator and journaler based in Colorado, but I just returned from my honeymoon in Costa Rica. Here's my journal from our adventures there. I thought a lot about the cycles of life while hiking in the rainforest, especially how important death and decay are in order for life to flourish. I think this is a really beautiful example of regeneration. There's truly nothing wasted in this ecosystem. And some of my favorite organisms to spot, like mushrooms, are in fact excellent decomposers, always working to break down material and create something new with it. Without death, there would be no life.
Hi, I'm Karina, and I live in Southern Ontario, Canada. Welcome to my super messy greenhouse. I am in here today because the theme of the day is renewal, and I think dahlias are a perfect representation of this theme, and I want to share that with you. These are dahlia tubers that I dug up last November, and I put them away for the winter. And now that it's April, I've brought them out to let them notice that it's getting warmer, and they're sending out little shoots which will become new plants that are like 4 to 5 feet tall. They'll be covered in huge beautiful flowers, and there's little rootlets here too, so I'm going to plant these up. I love watching how like a simple boring looking tuber like that can slowly grow and then form buds and become this amazing plant that's visited by pollinators and becomes like a place for bumblebees to sleep or hide during the rain, and then they die back and I dig them up and the whole process starts all over again. To me it's fascinating, and I've actually nature journaled pretty much every step of that process. So that's why I think dahlias are such a nice example of the theme of renewal.
This is Jared K. Anderson reading a poem for International Nature Journaling Week. This is a poem on the theme of renewal and regeneration. It's a poem called City from my collection Leaf Litter. City. That rotting stump, that pile of yellow leaves, a city on a golden hill, remembers what we forget. The detrivores gather there, saprobes sharpening their proverbs, past lives gift new soils. Fungi bundled the words like warm bread, while moss looks on. Like all cities, it's a city of the dead. Like every life, its countless lives is one. Ink caps and pinwheels, bleeding fairy helmets and maze gills. Like all lovely things, you could call it an aftermath. Mourning the tree that was, once green leaves in tatters, new growth spent and gone. Test these thoughts on the city, and hear the gentle hush rebound. Hear a voice among the decay. All beauty in nature arises from endings. Seasons and cycles make music from limits. Forever is a broken measure of success. Hopelessness lacks imagination. In the city's cellar, at home among the dead, A single seed dreams of 2 centuries in sunlight, and, even in sleep, shivers the dark with potential.
After decay and decomposition, the next turn of the cycle is renewal and regeneration. We all experience this on an annual level through the turning of the seasons. Winter is always followed by spring. We too come out of our dens and sniff the spring air, wondering at the new leaves. Even if you live in a place with a more steady climate, I bet you personally go through cycles as well. After all, we are also part of nature, and we are cyclical beings, and we experience many more cycles than just the big ones of birth, life, and death. You'll have your own winter, repeatedly, when everything declines and you must be fallow. And you will always have your own spring after you've rested. So if you need some rest, please take it. And after you've rested, pop outside and look for the ways that the world around you is renewing and regenerating. I'm looking forward to seeing what you record for International Nature Journaling Week.
Hello everyone, my name is Meg, and as part of Nature Journaling Week, I'd like to explore the topic of renew and regeneration, but with a mental health perspective. This is because nature journaling has been a huge part of my healing journey to renew and regenerate my nervous system, to slow down, to observe and spend time with the family dogs, to watch the bees, to go exploring and forage. But most of all, my favorite thing is to arrange the herbs and flowers around the dogs and take photos of them, but to sit with them and to draw the tiny details. What I've noticed is that there are so many different types of leaves and flowers with different textures, different colors, and different shapes that I wouldn't ordinarily notice if I was just to walk past. So I love the blind contour. It takes away all the stress and expectation and focuses on the slow process.
So looking for the bright side in things, and that happens for day 7 because our beautiful peonies had kind of gotten, the flowers that had already blossomed had kind of gotten destroyed by some big storms that came through, but that gave me a perfect stuff to draw for renewal and regeneration as I look at the different stages of it and even the beauty in the destroyed blossoms. So let's check it out. So here we have a flower that newly blossomed that survived the storms, but then we also have right next to it one that was destroyed by the storms. But then that gives us an opportunity to see inside the flower while it's still on the stem and some more flowers that are just starting to bloom. So this one hasn't opened yet. And then when we look up here, we've got the bud, another one that's just getting started. And even over here we have some that are kind of getting started, and then we also have some that are on their way out. So ones that are starting to dry up, and even one where the petals are starting to fall off. So I can't wait to investigate these from an artist perspective as I look toward day 7.